I've seen some people, like the former governor for Bungoma. He set up a milk processing plant in Webuye. Very expensive.
Is it still functioning?
It's not functioning. It's a white elephant. You know, you don't set up a milk processing plant in an area. That is not what the people of Bungoma want. The people of Bungoma want that you develop their dairy industry. You first need to find out the amount of milk that we are producing as a county.
Yes.
And then you want to increase the milk production. So what you do is maybe you provide some heifers to various groups of associations, various, you know, those women groups and youth groups. You give them those heifers. You increase, you build capacity of the agricultural extension programs, so that once you have now developed the dairy industry to a level where we are producing enough milk for commercial purposes, then you don't even waste government resources by putting up a milk processing plant. All that is required is that either you give the incentives either to KCC or Brookside, these factories that deal with the milk production. And then they will set up collection centers. Yes. Because what the people of Bungoma want is not a factory to process their milk, but is market for the milk that they are producing.
Yes.
So we will require setting up of milk collection centers by these well-known milk production giant companies like Brookside, KCC, and the rest. Because government has got no capacity to run a factory, to run a processing plant. The problem that we are in as a country, where we are even struggling on profitability of our sugar millers that were owned by government, gives us a strong indication that there is no government across the world that has the capacity to run a factory or capacity to run a processing plant. So those things should be given to the private sector to run.
Speaking of that, Mheshimiwa, personally I come from Bungoma County, Chole to be specific. Now, we have Webuye pan paper industry. Currently, it's not working. And also, just recently, you spoke about the privatization of our Nzoia sugar company. What can you tell us more about that?
Number one,
yes.
The question about the sale of pan paper,
yes,
is a question that should be directed to one EUGINE Wamalwa. When pan paper was sold,
yes,
EUGINE Wamalwa was an eye in government. He was a cabinet minister by that time. The only cabinet minister from, I think, former Western province during that time. And he is part of the people that processed the sale of pan paper. It was sold by Uhuru Kenyatta's best friend and business ally,
yes,
this Rai group. They bought pan paper, and I think the person who should answer those questions when history is written is EUGINE Wamalwa. Number two, when I was elected to Parliament,
yes,
in 2017, there was a discussion about privatization of Nzoia sugar,
yes,
and various sugar factories.
yes.
And then you remember we convened a meeting at Nzoia Guest House. By then the chairperson of the Privatization Commission was the late Honorable Henry Obocha. You remember even we fought because we were opposing the sale of Nzoia sugar by that time. But then, of course, when Omigo Magara died, I think the chairperson then became Honorable Dr. Paul Otoma. Then a discussion began. We held discussions at Intercontinental Hotel, and we formed a task force, yes, that was co-chaired by Kakamega Governor by then Wycliffe Oparanya, and the Minister for Devolution, Agriculture being a devolved function, Honorable EUGINE Wamalwa. They co-chaired that meeting. They invited very many leaders from sugarcane growing belt. Yes. We met at Windsor, and the report came out. the report was that EUGINE WAMALWA and Wycliffe Oparanya had recommended that those factories should be sold, should actually be privatized.
Yes.
So the decision to privatize Nzoia Sugar was made by EUGINE WAMALWA, who was then Minister for Devolution.
Okay.
And Wycliffe Oparanya, who was the chairman of Council of Governors at that time, in support of a number of governors. But then when we came in, of course, that time we didn't have much powers, as much as we were members of parliament.
Yes.
You know, you cannot compete with the government when they have made a decision at that time, because the government was not listening to us. But now when we came in last year, and of course when the government changed, we had a different opinion. We said we should not privatize Nzoia Sugar, yes, but we could rather lease the factory. Of course, we can debate about the leasing conditions, but in terms of changing from the initial plan as recommended by EUGINE WAMALWA, yes, to completely sell it off, the same in a manner akin to how we sold pan paper. Yes. But then now we changed and say we can't sell it. Let us lease it. As we continue to have a discussion, let us lease it. So as we speak, pan paper has been leased? It has not been leased. The process of leasing it had begun, but of course not everybody is supporting that idea, and some people went to court to stop the leasing process, and I think the court made a decision, I think, in the last 2 or 3 days. Okay. But from where I sit, if you ask me, leasing is the way to go. We can only debate about some leasing conditions, yes, in terms of we are leasing it for how many years, we are leasing it for how much money, and what extent is the leasing. Does it include the nucleus, which is land that was donated by the people of Bungoma, or not? Does the leasing also entail that this new investor should bring in a fresh factory? Yes. And even after we have leased it and they are crushing the cane from farmers, are they also going to ensure that they pay off the debts that the factory owes to the farmers who supplied cane previously before? And we also need to have a discussion about, as they lease this factory, are they also going to pay the debts that the factory owes to various suppliers? Mm-hmm. Are they going to pay and clear the previous arrears of the workers of Nzoia Sugar? Mm-hmm. Are they going to allow the current workforce to continue, or what formula are they going to use to determine who remains and who goes? And in terms of those who are leaving, are they going to compensate them for the years that they are remaining, especially those who are permanently pensionable? Mm. So these are the discussions that for us, the supporters of leasing, yes, were pushing to have and to ensure that they are part of the leasing contract. But we have hypocrites who have continued to use the matters in Nzoia Sugar and matters cane farming in Western Kenya to resurrect their stifled political careers by making it a campaign tool, a campaign item year after year. And I am among the leaders who feel that matters in Nzoia Sugar, yes, must be sorted once and for all. There are only 2 objectives, mm-hmm, that we want Nzoia to achieve. Yes. Objective number 1 is that Nzoia factory must be in that position where they're able to buy cane farmers, to buy cane from cane farmers, process it into sugar, sell it, pay the cane farmers, and pay the farmers as well. That is condition number 1. So let me ask another question. To be precise, you've mentioned about the hypocrites who are against the leasing. Correct. So maybe you have the hypocrites in your mind, maybe you can mention them. Hypocrite number 1, yes, is EUGINE WAMALWA. Mm-hmm. This man, EUGINE WAMALWA, has been in government for the last 18 years. Yes. he has been in charge of senior and powerful ministries. He never used that position as minister for devolution, for instance, to sort out the problem of Nzoia.
Yes.
Why was he not crying out loudly at that time when he was minister and sympathizing for the cane farmers of Bungoma, when he was in that prime position? Why didn't he use his position to sort out the problem of Nzoia once and for all? The only reason why the people of Bungoma plant cane is because they are planting cane as their cash crop. They plant it hoping that after 18 months the cane could have matured. They will sell the cane, they will get the money to sort out their health problems. Those who are sick pay their hospital bills.
Yes.
Those who have children in institutions of higher learning pay their school fees in those institutions of higher learning. And those that want to do some investment, they can do some investment. That is the reason why the farmers of Nzoia, of Bungoma, decided not to plant any other cash crop, but plant sugarcane. Therefore, anybody who purports to have the interest of the people of Bungoma, anybody who purports to have the interest of the cane farmers of our country, must not just say we should not do ABCD, but that person must propose what is it that should be done to ensure that Nzoia Sugar Factory goes back to profitability. And most importantly, EUGINE WAMALWA has got no moral authority to lecture the cane farmers now on what should be done, because he slept on duty. He slumbered. Alingorota kwa kazi. Miaka 18. 18 good years.
Yes.
Akiwa waziri ya Justice and Constitutional Affairs kwa serikali ya Mwai Kibaki, when the economy of Kenya was doing very well at that time. Akaendelea akatransition kwa serikali ya Uhuru Kenyatta. He has held very palatial and powerful positions. Amekuwa waziri wa water and irrigation. Akakuwa waziri ya maji. Akakuwa waziri ya devolution. Akakuwa waziri wa defense, kusimamia majeshi yote ya Kenya. EUGINE WAMALWA has visited Nzoia Sugar 5 times akiwa waziri in those 18 years. Now, EUGINE WAMALWA has gone to Nzoia Sugar with all the ministers of agriculture. Ameenda Nzoia na Peter Munya, ameenda Nzoia na Adan Mohamed, minister wa trade. Yes. Ameenda Nzoia na Willibet, ameenda Nzoia na Fred Matiang'i akiwa waziri ya Interior and the Coordination of National Government. Ameenda waziri Nzoia na waziri Masharia. So for 18 years that the farmers of Bungoma entrusted their vision, their plans, and their future in the hands of EUGINE WAMALWA to sort out Nzoia problem. EUGINE WAMALWA only used those positions to hoodwink the people of Bungoma, to play politics with the people of Bungoma. He never did anything. If there is an individual that should be chased away from any table that is discussing a solution for cane farmers in our countries, more specifically the cane farmers from Bungoma, around Nzoia Belt, yes, around Mumias, if there is an individual that should not be given any slightest opportunity, yes, to participate in such discussion, is EUGINE Ludovic WAMALWA. So because he never used his position by then, when he had powers, to provide a solution for the people of Bungoma around Nzoia and Mumias. But he only used his position to benefit himself, to enrich himself, to eat well, grow his hips, and other things which I cannot be able to mention. That is the only thing that EUGINE WAMALWA did. Because today, we live in a country where the sovereignty of the Kenya as a country is with the people.
Yes.
The centrality of our constitution is the people. The constitution begins by saying we, the people of Kenya.
Yes.
Meaning that the people of Kenya are supreme, and we must be accountable to the people of Kenya.
Yeah.
Today, if Eugine Wamalwa appears before Ken Farmers of Nzoia, because he has been holding those positions in government in trust on behalf of the people of Kenya. So today, if he was to appear before the Ken Farmers of Nzoia Mumias,
Yes.
to account on how he used his position to their benefit, nothing will be outstanding. Because there is no record that can continue to outstand. The only outstanding thing would be his hips, nothing else. Me, I don't like sugar-coating things and calling a spade a spade. At times we plunge our country in problems by trying to appear nice, by trying to look nice. If somebody never used his position to sort out a problem that existed from 2013 to date, why would you listen to such a person? It's a waste of time. In fact, that person should, if I would never participate in a discussion to revive Nzoia with a group of people that will include Eugine Wamalwa. It is like presiding over a sermon to take people to heaven while the devil is part of that sermon. You just be sure that even your prayers cannot travel even 5 miles above to heaven.
So, Mheshimiwa, I have another question that is on about our current governor, Honorable Kenneth Lusaka. Recently, the Sirisia MP, John Oluke, claimed that Governor Lusaka is spending 35 million monthly on garbage collection, yet our markets in Bungoma are dirty. What can you talk about that? I
think I don't want to talk about the person who I am planning that he will hand over the mantle to me. I think I am completely conflicted.
Yes.
That question.
MP John Oluke,
I think those questions can be directed to Aluke, to himself to answer. I think one of the resolutions that I have decided, I am rebranding myself.
Coming out as a new person.
I'm coming up as a new person, and I write the books that many young people read.
Okay.
Number one, if you look at the history of Western Kenya, apart from Musalia Mudavadi, who was picked from some office to go and take over the seat that was held by his father, by then, you will agree with me that I DIDMUS Barasha.
Yes.
I was the first youngest member of parliament elected by the people from Western Kenya.
Wow, that's a congratulations.
In 2017. I was elected at the age of 28.
Wow.
And since independence, apart from Musalia Mudavadi, the people of Western Kenya have been electing people who have retired from public service. Maybe the average age of members of parliament could have been maybe around 42, 43, thereabout.
Yes.
But I rewrote history. I am the one who made the people of Western Kenya proud of young leadership. And I think if you meet Peter Salasia, if you meet Freddy Kana, if you meet Innocent Mugabe, right? you should tell them that I am the one who made a way for them. The respect they enjoy when they move around Western Kenya is because of myself. If I did not manage my CDF well between 2017 to 2022, in terms of communicating to the people of Western Kenya, that age has got no correlation with the ability to conceptualize the problems that the people go through, and coming up with a development blueprint that will solve those problems. That it doesn't matter the amount of money that you receive as CDF. What matters is the meticulous planning, understanding of the priority. That is why we're able to replace all the 18 Madwall primary schools in the Kimilili constituency in 2 years with modern history buildings. We have revolutionized the educational infrastructure in the Kimilili constituency, and we are determined to take it to the next frontier by December this year. That action is what made the people of Mumias East to begin appreciating young leadership, to begin appreciating that how young an individual is has got no correlation. That development is not just a preserve of these very old fellas who have retired from civil service saying we have too much money, we have anything else. And I think by so doing, I'm also writing a new political chapter about running a campaign based on objectivity, based on the premise to solve a public problem as opposed to pulling other people down. Somebody can say that I'm trying to pull Eugene down. I'm not pulling Eugene down. Eugine Wamalwa is not a minister. Eugine Wamalwa doesn't hold any position that you can say I'm pulling him down. And I'm just saying things which I will never do again. And let me tell you also, the same way I made the Western voters to respect and listen to young leaders, to young political aspirants, it's the same way that I can say leaders from our voters from our region seem to be disillusioned. They seem not to be excited by a mention of the names of many leaders from their area, because they feel they are on their own. They are not being assisted because of the people who held palatial positions, but they don't use them to improve the life of the people of Western Kenya. And one man that features in terms of being a very bad model, not a role model, but a very bad model, is Eugine Wamalwa. You know, even going to heaven, when you are a bishop or a pastor, you will be put to task to explain how many demons you cast from people, how many healing sermons and deliverance sermons you conducted using that position. That is what will determine whether you sit on the right-hand side of God or left-hand side of the Lord. So we are simply saying that any slightest opportunity that you get as a leader, you must make the people that elected you proud. Don't make them regret why they elected you. You know, and you have had, and you see, I have had some people say that the way we are seeing is like DIDMUS Barasa is likely to be the governor of Bungoma, and they have been wondering about that maybe the people of Bungoma are not good people, they are bad. Why will they elect an individual that some say they saw me on TV?